need y'all to talk about us because we're going to talk about ourselves.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it. Can you believe it? The 2022 football season is officially underway now. We are getting ready for week 1 here at Titans Tube. I am Justin, co-host Jake. My man, are you ready for some Titans football? Being back for the fall now. Let's go.
I am so ready, Justin. I said in the last video that I couldn't believe it was here. And, flash forward a couple weeks to the preseason, almost a full month now. And here we are in early September doing the preview for this Titans-Giants matchup week 1 at Nissan Stadium. I can't believe it. I love it. I'm all the way back in, Justin. I'm all the way back into hating the national media for dismissing the Titans every single year as if they weren't the 1 seed in the AFC last year, as if they haven't won the AFC South the past 2 years, as if the Colts are a threat at all with Matt Ryan under center. And yes, I just said that in our week 1 preview. Just got to bring in the Colts slander a little bit as we work back into the season. But as Justin, I'm excited. How do you feel, man?
I'm feeling good, man. My hopes for this team is still high. I mean, man, the pain of the playoff loss last year is still, it bothers me. And it's all right. It's all right. I'm just ready and excited to see this new iteration of this team. Lots of new faces. Cannot wait to see them on the field performing in the two-tone blue. But before we get to that, Jake, a couple quick newses of note, bits of information. However,
there you go.
I figure out to say it. Since our last video, just to briefly cover, devastating injury to one of our top defensive players, Harold Landry, in practice, suffered a torn ACL. So, boom, right off the bat, we lose our leading sacker, 12.5 sacks breakout year last year for Harold Landry. Huge role in this dominant defense from a year ago. And it's kind of extra heartbreaking, too, because Harold Landry is one of those guys who you never had to worry about his availability. He was always there, and he knew his role. He had his role in his team, and he was reliable. You could expect him to be solid and perform, occasionally have multiple sacks a game, but he did a lot for this defense. You could always count on him to be there. And boom, not there for the entire year. Rashad Weaver, next man up. How you looking, Rashad? Man, any thoughts about Harold Landry's loss and how it might affect the defense?
Initially, obviously, a huge gut punch to this defense because Harold Landry does so much more than be the Titans' kind of premier pass rusher guy. And it's weird saying that he's the premier guy when they went out and paid Bud Dupree so much money last season. But, obviously Harold Landry breakout years, you alluded to, rewarded with a huge contract. He does so much more than sack the quarterback. He's a versatile guy who can drop into coverage. And like you said, he was always there and available. And he was a key guy on this defense just from an availability standpoint. And so you losing a pillar of the defense like that definitely is a huge blow. But as the days rolled on, you got to have a lot of confidence in these guys to step up. Look at the 2021 Titans as a key example. Had the most injured team in the history of NFL football by terms of players dressed for games. How many people suited up for this team, and yet they were still, I think, 12-5 and the number 1 seed in the AFC. So it takes 22 guys, Justin, and it takes really 53 guys if you want to parlay that number up to the entire roster. And Mike Vrabel is just the ideal coach for that next man up mentality. So while yes, obviously did not like seeing the news about Harold Landry, you got to have a little bit of faith in this Titans defense to continue to gel together and work on the progress and momentum that they built last season. So all in all, yes, devastating gut punch, but it is still week 1, Justin. We have a whole season of football to play.
It's not over yet, is it?
It takes every guy on the roster to win football games. So Harold Landry, wish the best to you, man, in recovery. I know you're watching right now. So I just hope we get him back on the field healthy next season, and onward, know where we can go, but to the future, Justin.
Man, yeah. Right after the big contract, boom, not available for us. I'm excited for Rashad Weaver, though, honestly, man. And, he was out for the year last year as a rookie. He got hurt in the preseason, missed the whole season. But dude, like even in last year's preseason and then this year's preseason, I know he's playing in the third and fourth quarters and against guys that are going to get cut anyway, but he like dominates them. You can tell that he's a tier above the competition when you see him play on the defensive line throughout the preseason. So I'm excited to see him get in the mix, in the rotation more with the starters. And I know we have a couple other depth pieces there too that'll help fill the void of Landry and what he did for this defense. But
for sure.
So hopefully, we can't wait to have Landry back next year. But other piece of news, is it a big deal? Maybe not, but it's a big name. Josh Gordon has been added to the team's practice squad, Jake. I mean, it kind of tells you the state of the receiver room and the coach's mind where we still needed to bring outside help. Roberson and I guess Cody Hollister made the team. Did he make the 53? But he's kind of a fringe roster guy. Mason Kinsey on the practice squad. These guys that have spent the whole training camp with the team. Coaches and GM J-Rob still felt we need some extra help from the outside. And is Josh Gordon that guy? Mm-hmm. Who knows? But he's on the team now. He's a big name, in and out of the league for over a decade now. It feels like maybe he can help though. We'll see. We'll see if he makes it onto the field. But I don't know, anything to say about that, Jake?
Just a little. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Racy McMath is on short-term IR, correct?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so I view this Josh Gordon plug-in as them saying, okay, let's replace big-bodied Racy McMath with another super big-bodied wide receiver Josh Gordon for the meantime. It's not like Racy McMath is going to get, even 5 to 7 targets a game. So you can bring in another guy like Josh Gordon to somewhat fill the role. And we were talking a little bit before the video. I mean, he's still somewhat young, 31 years old. It seems like he would be a lot older at this point, but again, a lot of football missed. And we'll just see how he can integrate into the offense, because if it's a very low risk investment to bring in a guy like Josh Gordon to the practice squad. If he integrates into the offense well and still can run some routes, why not throw him out there on Sundays? I don't see any reason why to not take this risk, of signing a guy like that. Plus, the NFL has updated rules on marijuana usage. So hopefully no suspensions coming Josh Gordon's this way.
Has he learned his lesson? I mean, say what you want about the severity and the degree of offense that, smoking marijuana can do, but a rule's a rule, and he just cannot keep from
partaking.
Toking the pipe or I don't know. Whatever. All right. So Josh Gordon. Yeah. I like what you said about the Racy McMath thing, though. That's a good point. He could come back after like week 4, and then we just cut Josh Gordon, whether he sees the field or not. Could be a stopgap for Racy. But all right, let's get into this week 1 matchup. That's what the people are here for in this video. Oddly, a afternoon home game, a 3:25 Central Standard Time kickoff scheduled at Nissan Stadium. Doesn't really happen at all. Titans are always a noon game on Sundays, unless they're playing on prime time in Nashville. I feel like they only ever play an afternoon game if they're playing on the West Coast or whatever. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we have the New York Giants coming into town. Historically, opening week, Vrabel is surprisingly 2-2 with losses against the Miami Dolphins and the rainstorm, tornado, hurricane, crazy weather game like in 2018, and then last year the disaster against the Cardinals where the offensive line didn't show up and Tannehill got sacked like 10 times. So that was a disaster. So Jake, for some good luck, my cup here. There's only one coach in Titans history who went undefeated in week 1, and so we need some of that magic, some of that Henson Hunt magic. Let's go. I know, not the most fondly remembered coach, not the greatest era of Titans history, but he was 2-0 in opening week as a Titans coach. So I
appreciate that statistic. I like.
We need Wiz for this game. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, all this is to say, week 1 doesn't tell the story. We know how those Ken Whisenhunt teams turned out after week 1, and we know how these might well, at least last year, how the Mike Vrabel team turned out last year after the disaster against Arizona, still went on to win 12 games and capture the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. So let's not overreact, Jake. Let's not overreact. But can I just go ahead and say I'm expecting to look better, and I'm expecting to win and win kind of convincingly. Knock on wood.
Why you said that off the jump, Justin. That's your first talking point of this preview.
Maybe we should cut that out and save that for the end. But I'm excited. I don't want to overreact, but I probably will. But anyway, yes, Jake. So the point: do not panic, no matter how this team looks. I mean, there's a lot of new moving pieces, a lot of new faces on this roster, especially the offense. So got to work out some kinks. Don't expect it to be all firing on all cylinders first series of the game. So temper expectations. But I mean, I like this matchup against the Giants, honestly, Jake.
Yeah, and you're right to think that, Justin. I don't want to, knock you off your rocker too early on in the season. I mean, it's week 1 after all. But yeah, I'm with you. This is a favorable matchup for the Titans week 1, especially compared to like an Arizona last year. But I'm with you, man. You can't panic and you can't overreact to week 1 because, I mean, look at, on both sides of the AFC and NFC, the Titans were absolutely blown out week 1 last year. The Green Bay Packers were absolutely blown out week 1 last year.
Right.
Both were the number 1 seeds in their respective conferences. So temper expectations, because I know I'm going to be with everybody taking to the Twitter skies and being super pissed off once we have the first run, pass, punt, 3 and out to start the game. Inevitably, I'm going to be rolling my eyes,
or when Nick Petit-Frere, gets burned on the right side.
Yes,
he's a bust. We were done for. Trash.
Patience is the name of the game. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So so
not panic.
Parlaying that patience into looking at this Titans offense against the Giants defense, Justin. Much like the revamped Titans defense we saw from 2020 to 2021, from 2021 to 2022, there's going to be a lot of new faces for this Titans offense. Just in the pass catching room alone, you have Robert Woods, Treylon Burks, Kyle Phillips, Austin Hooper, 4 brand new pass catchers for Ryan Tannehill, a complete revamp from last year's offense. So it's going to be interesting to see how Tannehill has built chemistry with these guys, see how these newcomers can integrate into the offense. And you alluded to it, Nicholas Petit-Frere getting that start at right tackle. How is he going to hold up? It's going to help that a couple of Giants' key defensive linemen are unlikely to play in this game in Azeez Ojulari, I believe. I'm going to need a pronunciation guide on that. Then also Kayvon Thibodeau, the number 5 overall pick in this year's draft, also unlikely to play in this game. So that will hopefully ease the tension on NPF's start in his first NFL career game. We'll find out once the rubber meets the road on Sunday. And then obviously we mentioned at the top, Justin, the sting of that Cincinnati Bengals playoff loss, the stink, the stench that has followed Ryan Tannehill since that fateful day in January. How is he going to look? How is he going to respond? Will it be the Tannehill revenge season we're being led to believe that it's going to be? Because Tannehill is talking like he's more motivated than he's ever been in his career. This is quite frankly probably the most important year of Ryan Tannehill's professional career as a quarterback. And he's not taking that lightly. And you can see that in his pressers and the way he's kind of carrying himself in this offseason. So I'm very curious to see how Ryan Tannehill bounces back. And then also, we haven't even mentioned the king up to this point, Justin. We got a small sample size of Derrick Henry's comeback in that playoff game. It wasn't everything we had hoped for, but hopefully with a full offseason of recovery, Derrick Henry is going to look much like the Derrick Henry of years past. So it's just going to be interesting to watch this brand new looking Titans offense against the Giants defense that might be down a couple of key names. But a key name for the Giants, Justin, who is coming back and making a return to Nissan Stadium, Adoree Jackson, is obviously suiting up at cornerback for the New York Giants. So I don't know. What is your opinion? What is your hopes and expectations for this week 1 offense looking completely different than it did last season?
Yeah, I mean, you covered it perfectly. I thought with all the new players and the new targets for Ryan Tannehill, it's hard to gauge what this team is going to look like their first time going out there. Obviously, Tannehill didn't play at all during the preseason, but by all accounts, he had a solid training camp. And I mean, Robert Woods has been there the whole training camp. Traylon Burks, whatever asthma here and there, little dinks and bumps and bruises here in and out of practice, but he's been there for the most part. And I thought he looked pretty good, especially that last game against the Cardinals with Malik Willis and throwing him that touchdown pass. He looks the part. Kyle Phillips looks the part in the punt return game. I'll tell you that much. But hopefully we can get him the ball on offense, because I think he could definitely be a big time contributor for this team. And then Austin Hooper. Yeah, of course. I'm just reiterating all the players that you just said, but yeah, a lot of question marks, but I think, same offensive coordinator, and you have your captains, Tannehill and Henry still there, Lawan, Ben Jones, all the veteran guys who know this offense. They've been in this system. So hopefully that they can still, with these pieces in place, at least as far as that goes, it should still be a well-oiled machine-ish, I guess is one way to put it. But of course, the receivers got to know this offense just as well and run the right routes so they don't zig when they're supposed to zag, and Tannehill throws it right to a Giants defender. Hopefully it's not a Dory Jackson, who has he even been good? I feel like he's been hurt a lot with the Giants. It's like the same old story his whole career with the Titans. He was hurt and then up and down, and I don't know. But yeah, I mean, well, it's just kind of a wait and see thing. My hopes are high, but I'm biased. So I would love to come out first play of the game, 80-yard touchdown to Traylon Burks, but yeah, it's probably not going to happen. So, I mean, we got to be patient. Can't overreact whenever we go punt or run, pass, punt, hit, stall, offense stalls in the red zone, kick a field goal. We go into halftime with like a 6-3 lead.
More of the same.
More of the same. You can never really predict what happens week one here, but I'm still expecting the offense to move the ball, especially on this Giants defense that you said has a lot of big pieces that are questionable coming in. It's funny because I opened up, ESPN before we got on here to record, clicked on their depth chart, and dude, just look at it. Their players are like Q. Everybody's questionable on that team. They could either have all their starters playing, or the game might be canceled because they don't have enough players to field. Like there's who knows how many of these questionable players are actually going to be ready to play. So, especially given the opponent, I think this offense should be able to move the ball and put up some points. So yeah, I have some expectations there, but again, can't overreact whenever we see a lot of stone houses. I'm excited to see Stonehouse, though. I want to punt. I want to see how he punts in a real game.
For sure.
I guess that was a big one that we missed, a big piece of news. Did we ever talk about Kern?
Brett Kern. Goodbye, Brett Kern.
Bye, Kern. All right, now back to this game. No, that's disrespectful. Brett Kern, punter since 2009. Ridiculous. What a legend, dude.
Hats off to a Titans legend for sure. Tip of the cap to Brett Kern. Thank you for your service. And I've heard rumblings that he's not going to take another offer from another team outside of Nashville. He loves his home and his life currently in Tennessee, and he doesn't want to go anywhere. So he's going to be on call for the Titans this year in case the Stonehouse experiment doesn't go quite as planned, or maybe he gets hurt. We still could have number 6 come back and lace up the cleats one more time. So obviously salute to Brett Kern. I texted you when it happened, Justin. I think I was in 6th grade when Brett Kern started punting for the Titans. I'm 25 years old now. It's bonkers to think how long and how tenured of a Titan he's been. He played for Jeff Fisher. That's another thing.
He played for Jeff Fisher. He was teammates with Keith Bullock. He was teammates with Vince Young. Like this is like 2 or 3 eras ago of Titans football that he's been through. Amazing. Well, I always love Brett Kern. Let's hang his jersey up. Ring of honor. Put him in the stadium.
I'm with you.
He's an icon. Titans icon. Gotta love Brett Kern. And his unwillingness to sign with another team, he bleeds two-tone blue through and through. I've never heard of that before, of a player wanting to do that. So hats off. Mid episode honoring Brett Kern segments. Yes. But moving on, Jake, we've touched a lot about this new look Titans offense. How about this Giants offense going against this Titans defense? So the quarterback, of course, is Daniel Jones. You know, he was the first-round pick, high first-round pick, 6 overall? I think that's the only reason why Daniel Jones is still playing quarterback. He just has not put it to. I haven't watched a lot of Giants football, but it doesn't seem like he is taking these next steps that you want your franchise 6th overall pick quarterback to be making. So this is definitely like last year, make or break year for Daniel Jones. If he doesn't do it this year, then they got to be moving on. They do have Tyrod Taylor as a backup. And Titans fans, let's hope nothing happens to Daniel Jones where we have Tyrod Taylor in, because I feel like this guy always gives us problems. He brought in like the 1 or 0 win Texans last year to Nissan Stadium in a horrible, rainy, disgusting weather game and beat us. It was one of the worst losses of the season last year. And Tyrod Taylor was the man at quarterback there. So just let's keep Tyrod Taylor on the bench, please. Also, Saquon Barkley, another guy that's just has had a Q by his name for his entire career. He cannot stay healthy, but extremely talented running back. So, I mean, could he be on his last rope with the team as well if he can't stay healthy and deliver a solid season for him? And then at receiver, they got Kenny Golladay, who has been randomly a negative talking point. And I've seen those videos on Twitter posted where he just doesn't seem interested in playing and just kind of half-assing it, if you will. So I don't know what's going on there with Kenny Golladay, but they still have Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, the star Florida wide receiver. So can he have a better sophomore season? So they've got some talent and pieces there on offense, but with this Titans young secondary, man, I'm looking for these young corners to show out and play some lockdown football. I'm excited for these corners. Roger McCreary won the starting job opposite of Christian Coleman, it appears, looking at the depth chart. And we still have Caleb Farley there, then Elijah Molden, kind of our slot corner guy. So I'm excited to see these DBs go to work. In their first outing here as a group against the Giants offense. I don't know. What do you see there?
I'm with you. I think it's a favorable matchup. Daniel Jones on paper doesn't scare you. Daniel Jones in the film he's put together doesn't really scare you. Even if he does use his athleticism and have that long run, he'll trip on the turf monster and it won't go for 6.
That's right.
But the only real danger and threat you see on this Giants offense is sitting in the backfield at Saquon Barkley. And he's been great when on the field, but he just can't stay healthy. So it's going to be all about the Titans defense containing Saquon Barkley, keeping everything in front of them and just making good tackles. You feel like, especially early on in the season, tackling can be sloppy and, containment can be sloppy. So hopefully the Titans defense avoids those errors. And I think our front 7 is well built enough to contain Saquon Barkley, at least for the time being. And I'm very excited to watch these young cornerbacks, especially McCreary. And let's see Caleb Farley get some game action. Talk about a first-round pick who hasn't really flourished yet. He's been injured pretty much his entire tenure with the Titans so far. So let's get number 3 out on the field and see what he can do, because the sky's the limit with this guy, but we haven't seen any of him. So hard for me to be a Caleb Farley believer until he touches grass and really shows it on the field. But I'm with you, Justin. I think it's a favorable matchup for the Titans defense, and it's one that I expect the Titans to take advantage of, force some turnovers, get in the backfield, have that pass rush that creates for each other like they had all last year. And then hopefully we can make Daniel Jones have his Sunday be not very comfortable, Justin.
Yes, that would be great. And back to Barkley. I mean, I think that's got to be a key kind of for the defense and make Daniel Jones beat you, really. And I think having a David Long Jr. is a really good player to have to match up against Saquon, not just in the running game, but in the passing game as well, because we know Saquon Barkley can be an effective receiver out of the backfield. And David Long Jr. is a good cover linebacker. And I'm really excited to see the first full season of the duo of Zach Cunningham and David Long Jr. together, because I think they could be really solid. Hopefully David Long Jr. can stay healthy. Zach Cunningham, Yeah, he didn't get hurt. He came over from the Texans and finished off the season, so like he's 100% good to go. Pretty reliable to be on the field for us. So, I like it too. I think it's a good matchup for this defense, albeit a young cornerback group in this defense. But I think we drew a good one here with the Giants because none of the receivers kind of blow you away with their name, and the big one, Kenny Golladay, is not.
It looks great. Like me doing the cone drill out there. I would have a similar time to what his cone drills have been in training camp. You said just disinterested.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I don't know what else. What else can we talk about here with this game? We can get into our predictions, our keys to the game, but talking about both sides of the ball here. We have special teams to talk about. I mean, Randy Bullock was he perfect? Was he perfect this preseason? Have our kicker woes ended? Is Randy Bullock our
We'll find out. We'll find out, Justin. I know. Okay, so either one of two things is going to happen on the Titans' opening possession. They're going to go run, pass, punt, or they're going to drive down the field for a touchdown. We're going to be so stoked about Randy Bullock, and he's going to pull the opening extra point.
No.
Those are the two options. Would you rather have 6 points or a Stonehouse 70-yarder? That's kind of what I'm feeling for the opening drive. Now, I don't want to be pessimistic, but just with the Randy Bullock optimism, I feel it. I'm with you. He was perfect in the preseason. He's been almost perfect through camp, maybe like 99 out of 100. But so hopefully, yes, our kicker woes are over, Justin. But no jinxes here. No jinxes here.
I mean, we're so bad about knocking on wood and jinxing the team because we just like throw whatever out there, and we're definitely jinxing the team with some of our talking points, but it's okay. Yeah. It's all right. We'll reverse the jinx at some point. But what's like the most important thing here in this game for the Titans to come out with a win?
My key to the game, Justin, I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible. As Mike Vrabel puts it, don't do dumb shit that hurts the team. I feel like on paper, the Titans are better than the New York Giants. And so having this home game, having, the 12th man on your side and going against an inferior opponent, don't do dumb shit that hurts the team. And I'm looking at number 17, especially. No, sorry. Yeah. So, not you.
Scared me.
Looking at number 17. I don't
want to let coach down. Gosh.
Yeah, I got you. Ryan Tannehill cannot turn the ball over. We saw it last year. It was almost like clockwork. If the Titans didn't turn the ball over, they won football games. If they turn the ball over, they're losing football games. It was that black and white to where the Titans are virtually unbeatable the way they're built as a football team, at least the 2021 Titans. Obviously, we don't know what to expect from this year's club. But the way the Titans roster is built and the way they play football, if they don't beat themselves, it's going to be really hard for a team, especially like the New York Giants, to come into Nissan Stadium and get out with a win. So basically, don't do dumb shit that hurts the team. No turnovers. So if that happens, I think the Titans can put together a quality victory. I'm going to go with a final score prediction, Justin, of 26-17. The Titans get the win.
Shockingly close to my score prediction, which I'll get to. But this is one of those games where you feel like, I'm going to reiterate what pretty much everything you said, is that on paper, I feel like we have the better team. And as long as we just play, we don't have to even play perfect, just play a clean game and don't hurt yourself. And we should be able to come out of this first game with a win. Loved what you said about Tannehill. And I think that's going to be a key too. And it's not just on him, but these receivers too in this offense. And these receivers have to know 100% each play and what their job is for each play. And if they have an option, like an option route, if the defense looks like this, then I need to cut this way. And like, you have to be on the same page with your quarterback. These rookies, Traylon Burks and Phillips, Austin Hooper, and Robert Woods, he kind of strikes me as a guy that can pick up an offense and kind of plug and play. Like, he seems like he's a smart player. Not that the other guys aren't a smart player, but he's your veteran in there that will go in there and know exactly what to do with the ball and play to play what his route is and what his job duties are. So, and you can trust Nick Westbrook-Aquino. It's the first time we've mentioned his name on here, but he's the veteran of this receiver group. Funnily enough, I guess he's our number 2 going into this game. You'd like to think that, he kind of knows this offense through and through with the time that he spent here already. But so yes, Tannehill don't do the dumb shit. Receivers, just be on the same page as Tannehill. And man, it's gonna be rough if we keep the Giants in this game, because Traylon Perks cut out when he was supposed to cut in, and Tannehill throws a wide open pick six. Knock on wood again. Another jinx just went out into the open. Sorry, guys.
We're the most optimistic, pessimistic Titans fans you'll ever listen to.
We're so neurotic. Like, knock on wood. Oh, what'd you just say? Oh gosh. Oh, we're gonna lose. Oh, it's bad. Things are bad. That's what the Titans have done to me after 20 years, man. I mean, I can't ever relax, good or bad. But yeah, I think after all this, can't, be upset. A week one game, can't really know what to expect. How the team is going to look is not indicative of the rest of the season. But man, I'm going to be a little disappointed if the Titans do not come out of here with a win.
100%.
And I think we should win this game by double digits. No disrespect to the Giants. These two teams are just in different phases in terms of being a contender for a Super Bowl. The Giants may have to rebuild yet again at the quarterback position because the Daniel Jones project did not work out. But I was going to predict a 27-17 final score.
Okay,
so 1 point off. We think very similarly, but I think a nice, 10-point win, with all the new faces on the team would make you feel good as a Titans fan before our big Monday night matchup in week 2 against the Buffalo Bills. But why am I looking ahead, Jake?
Yep.
Nobody should be looking ahead. What are we doing? What am I doing? It's week 1. I got to knock off the rest. I got to quit looking ahead and jinxing the team. It's bad, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this game. I'm feeling good about this team. Hopefully the offense can click a little sooner rather than later, and give us some rhythm, give us some balance as we give the ball 30 times to Derrick Henry. I'm guessing that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, that's my key too. Yeah, take care of the ball and just be on the same page as everyone on the offense. And I kind of trust this defense to do their thing. Hopefully Saquon Barkley, doesn't have that juice that he did his rookie year where he was just tearing up the league and he's really throwing us off balance on defense. Hopefully we can shut him down and make Daniel Jones beat us. And hopefully, the defense should be able to do enough to shut them down. But yeah, I got a 10-point Titans win here, Jake. That's what I'm hoping for. And hopefully that's what we get.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Justin. Do you have any closing thoughts on the Titans-Giants matchup before we predict it is Wednesday afternoon at the timing of this filming, we predict the NFL season opener. Do you have anything closing Titans wise other than tighten up and let's go be 1-0?
Let's go be 1-0. This team is not 1-0 very often. It feels like. So, yeah, man, remember that week 1 at Cleveland we still had Mariota.
Yes.
Dude, that was such a great, fun week 1. Let's have one of those. That would be fantastic. I want to be that kind of 1-0. That would be great.
Yeah, but up a 40 burger. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, and like a pick six and Derrick Henry going off and Mariota throwing touchdowns. Like, ooh, all right. Anyway, I think we've covered it decently enough. All I need to say. I'm optimistic and hopeful, and hopefully we look good.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking forward to Thursday night, Justin. I don't know if you have a horse in this race, but we are looking at a great matchup. The 2021 Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams are taking on the 2022 media Super Bowl champion, the Buffalo Bills. They've already been penciled in to win the AFC, Justin. Do the Bills get off to a good start and be 1-0 against the defending champs? Or do you think the Rams can upend a lot of this Bills hype? Because, man, are they the media darlings or what?
Dude, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I can't believe how much love the Buffalo Bills get without having made it to a Super Bowl. They made the AFC Championship 2 years ago, right, against the Chiefs, and then last year they got beat
divisional
by the Chiefs. No,
yes.
Oh yeah, why can't I remember what happened? Yeah, but that was
the 13-second game, 13-second drive.
Oh yeah,
the Bills had it in the bag and let it out.
That was an incredible game. I mean, yeah, I'm high on the Bills too. I think they're definitely going to be one of the best teams in the whole NFL, not just the AFC. But I don't think they are so unanimous of a Super Bowl favorite pick like that good. They shouldn't be unanimously Super Bowl favorites, which is what it seems to be in the media. they've just kind of stuck their cart onto the Bills bandwagon here. And it's the game's in Los Angeles. I mean, they've had the entire offseason to get ready, so there's no like competitive advantages and prep time or whatever. I don't know. It's going to be this is a very tough game to call. And I'm hoping the Bills win because I don't want them going into the Monday night game at 0-1 and like having that extra chip on their shoulders of getting back in the win column. I don't know, the weird psychological games I play with myself.
I love it.
I'll go with the Bills. I'll I think the Rams are going to be great again. I know there's questions about Stafford's elbow or arm, his injury there. So is that going to hold up? But I like the Bills. I think it's going to be close, but this is really a coin flip for me. It's very tough, but I'm buying into the media hype, and hopefully that comes back to bite me. I would love to see the Bills take a loss here, just for the win-loss column. But like I said, psychologically, it would be okay for them to win. Anyway, I'm giving ridiculous reasons, but I think the Bills got this first game, and I think it's going to be a good one. What about you?
I'm going to go the opposite of you, Justin. I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams to win the opening game. And I'm going to give you one reason, again, not really statistical or logical, but man, the what makes NFL football beautiful is the narratives of a given season. And they can start in the off season and some sprout to be oak trees of narratives and some never take off. There's just nothing quite like hating the Super Bowl favorite darling going into week one. That's what makes football great, is you want to cheer against these teams who are already penciled in to be champions. And that's the great thing about NFL football, is you have to go out there week after week after week after week and earn it. And it doesn't matter, if the Bills end up 9-8 somehow. I don't think they will be 9-8, but man, it's a huge pie in the face to the entire city of Buffalo for getting so revved up for Josh Allen and their Buffalo Bills. I would love to see them go out and fall flat on Thursday night.
And it's funny that I brought up the Cleveland Browns week one pummeling, because remember that whole offseason, they were talked up like crazy as everyone's favorite dark horse to come out of the AFC. They had so much hype. Then week one, we go in there and just thrash them. That made it that much sweeter, is because of the storyline, like you were talking about, and the media hype. So it would be nice, for the Bills to get all this hype and then for it to come crashing down, just to show the media that they're not experts. They watch the same games that we do. What makes them know what they're talking about here? They don't play the psychological games that we do.
Yeah, exactly. They're not thinking ahead. It's chess, not checkers, Justin. When you think about how to formulate NFL takes and Titans takes as a whole, chess, not checkers. You got to think a couple moves ahead.
I like
but
it.
anyways, I think that might wrap it up. Justin, do you have anything to take us to the barn?
Man, I got nothing. I'm just excited to see this team play. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about starting 1-0. We got a tough schedule though, and we got to win the games like these that are in front of us.
Absolutely,
that should be W's, because we got a lot of tough teams to play this year, and so we need to get the wins against the lesser opponents. No disrespect, Giants, but the lesser opponents when we can. So let's go be 1-0 on Sunday, Jake. How about you? Got anything?
I like it. Tighten up. Let's just start stacking victories. Like you said, you never know when you're going to need that one extra game come December or January for a playoff or tie breaking against maybe the pesky Indianapolis Colts. You always need that one extra game. So let's go get it on Sunday. Tighten up. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you guys for tuning in to another season of Titans 2 featuring Ken Wisenhunt on the Stadium Cup.
Just for week one.
Like Wisenhunt, just week one.
This cup is not coming out after week one. It's going back deep into the closet. It's all right.
Perfect. I love it. Tighten up, everybody. Have a great football weekend. Enjoy it, and we'll be back at you with a recap of this Titans victory, we hope.
Sounds good. Yes. We'll see you guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and tighten up.